Good afternoon, students. Uh, First of all, just let me know whether my voice is clear. Is everything audible to you? Just give me a thumbs up and just let me know how was your exam. Today was your exam. That was full syllabus test. How was it? Very good, I see. So everything is sorted, I think. Voice is clear. So now, today we are going to discuss about the question paper. I have selected few questions that in which you might feel some difficulty because in 1 hour time we can't do all the questions. So I have selected few questions for you. So just it will be one more thing that I will tell you that while studying or while going for the exam beforehand, it's very necessary to practice lot of questions. So I request you all to practice lot of questions by yourself as well. Whenever you got time in night, in day, whenever you got time, just try to solve a lot of questions. So let's start our session. Okay. So the first question on your screen is, if someone has attempted the question, he or she can comment in the chat box whether what was the answer he or she has marked. So question says, when a copper sphere is heated, question says when a copper sphere is heated, maximum percentage change will be observed in. One thing is the sure that when you heat something, it will increase in size. So its radius will definitely increase, that's for sure. But area and volume, out of these three, which will increase more? So for that, first of all, you can comment if you got the answer. So if I go for the solution, I am checking for two things here, for area and for volume. Radius has also increased. So for area, if I write, area is what? 4 pi r square. Because it is a sphere and area of a sphere is 4 pi r square. So if you calculate the change in the area, that is delta A by A. That is the fractional change in the area. 4 pi is a constant. It depends only on the r square. So it will be 2 delta r by r. This is for area. And if you write the same thing or same change for the volume, what you can write for volume, what is volume? 4 by 3 pi r cube. If I write the change in the volume, that is delta V by V is equals to, again 4 by 3 pi is a constant. So that will be 3 delta R by R. So you can clearly see here that change in area is 2 times. Very good, someone has commented. What are you asking? Share question paper on screen to understand better. What does that mean? This is the question from the question paper as well. What I have done, I have selected the questions, cropped them, because if I upload the PDF itself, then it's not possible. There is not that much space so that I can solve the question there. There is no space for us. So that's why what I have done, I have cropped the questions and pasted it here so that we can get some space. Anyway, by the way, the question are from the question paper, not from anywhere else. So that's it. Okay. So what I am asking, change in area is 2 times the change in the radius. Change in volume is 3 times the change in the radius. So that means change in volume will be the highest. Change in volume will be the highest. In this question, if you have any doubt, you can ask. Moving further. This is another question on your screen. share question solution. And what was that we have done on the previous slide? It was the solution and it was the answer. If you are asking for the complete solution of the paper, then I will share it in the group that you are attached with. I think you all are attached with the group. So I will share that in the group. If you want complete pre-written solutions, then I will upload it on the group if you ask me. In the second, this is a question paper discussion. This is not the solution providing platform. This is not the platform where I can just upload the solution. This is the discussion class. So in the second question, if you see, a particle moves along x-axis in such a way that its x coordinates varies with the time, or you want the answer keys. I'm not sure about. So they are saying that particle varies motion is given as x is equals to 4 minus 2t plus t square. They are asking the speed of the particle with the time, the graph of the speed versus time. So for speed, if I calculate velocity, velocity is what? Dx over dt. Okay. So you are saying that slides are not visible. Okay. Let me correct it. If that's the case, uh, 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 wait for 1 minute. Okay. Okay, is it visible now? Actually, the slideshow was paused actually. Okay, now can you see the questions? Okay. Now I think it's clear. The screen is visible now. Okay. Yes, sir. Everything is clear now. So I have discussed this first question. So do you want me to explain it again? This question that I have discussed already. Do you want me to discuss it again? Okay. Let's see. So in this case, okay, Krishna, very good. I'm explaining it again. If I ask about what is the area of the sphere, you will say that area of the sphere is 4 pi r square. Clear? So if I write the change in the area, then it will be delta A by A. This is the change of fractional change in the area. This is 4 pi is a constant, so is the change in area is independent of the constant terms. If I talk about radius, it will be 2 delta r by r. Again, if I talk about volume, volume of the sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. And if you write change in volume is 4 by 3 pi is again constant, that will be 3 delta r by r. What I'm saying, these type of questions are very important. You have two questions, two similar questions in your examination paper, in this examination paper particularly. So you need to be aware of that. Now, in this case, what you can see that change in area is 2 times of change in radius. Change in volume is 3 times of change in radius. So in which case change is more change is observed. So you can see that in case of volume, maximum change is observed. So option is C. Moving further for the next question. This is again a very simple question. What you are given, this is question of motion in 1D. Motion in one dimensional, what it says that position of the particle varies as 4 minus 2t plus t square. And you need to identify the graph between speed and the time. So make sure that they are talking about speed, not the velocity. So first of all, I am calculating the velocity. What is velocity is dx over dt. I think you all know that. Velocity is what? Dx over dt. If you differentiate this thing, what you will get? Differentiation of 4 is 0, minus 2t is minus 2, plus 2t. This is the differentiation. So what you will get? You will get velocity as 2t minus 2. Once you got the velocity, you can see that this graph is going to be a straight line. Y is equals to mx plus c. Y is equals to mx plus c. But we have to identify the speed in this case. So speed is something that cannot be negative. Velocity can be negative because negative sign indicates the direction. So speed cannot be negative. If they are asking about, if they will ask about the velocity time graph, then velocity time graph will be this one. This is velocity time graph. That graph is. This is velocity time graph, in which the velocity is negative. This velocity portion is negative. But speed cannot be negative. So this similar portion is transformed here, and correct option is A, because speed can never be negative. Okay, so I think these two questions are clear. Make sure that you have studied, you have noticed, you have focused each word of the question. How many of you attempted this question? Comment very quickly. How many of you have attempted this question? Okay, so let's see. The question says, a body is projected in such a way that the ratio of potential energy and kinetic energy at the highest point is 3. So first of all, the question is of projectile motion. Let's suppose a body is projected in this way. It will follow the path like that. So they are asking about the highest point. Let's suppose this is the highest point, and this height is something h. Clear? And they are saying, let's suppose this angle is theta. Let's suppose this angle is theta. So they are asking the angle of projection when the ratio of potential energy and kinetic energy is 3. Okay. So what is given? Ratio of potential energy and kinetic energy is equals to 3. This is given. So can you say that U is equals to 3K? K is the kinetic energy. Now, what is U? You can say U is what? mgh. At this point, at the highest point, what is potential energy? That is mgh. Let's suppose m is the mass. 3. Kinetic energy is what? Half mv square. Now, I think you all know the formula of the maximum height. Mg. What is the maximum height? U square sine square theta divided by 2g. I think there is no problem with this statement is equals to 3 by 2 m and v square. What is the velocity at the highest point? If I ask you what is the velocity at the highest point, if you can see, let's suppose it is thrown with some velocity, initial velocity u. When it is thrown some initial velocity u, you can have horizontal component as u cos theta and vertical component as u sin theta. I think there is no problem with that. At the highest point, the vertical velocity is 0 and the particle will have only horizontal velocity. Are you getting my point? At the highest point, which velocity the particle will have? It will have only horizontal velocity. So at the highest point, it will have only horizontal velocity, and that velocity is u cos theta. Is it clear? So what will be the velocity at the highest point? You will say u cos theta, and if you square it, it will become u square cos square theta. Now you can cancel few things out of here. As I can see, u square will be cancelled, m will be cancelled, this 2 will be cancelled, g will also cancel. So what will remain? That is sine square theta is equals to 3 times cos square theta. So you can say if I bring cos square theta here, it will become tan square theta is equals to 3 or tan theta is equals to root 3. So theta is equals to, what will be the value of theta? That is 60 degree. So theta will be 60 degree. Again, C option is our correct answer. Is there anyone who got it right? Anyone? Ayushi, Mohina, Trisha, Rakesh, Gaurav, Hetvi, uh, Rakesh, Gaurav, anyone who got it right? So is this question clear now? Should I move? Okay. There is another question. Again, okay. Your responses are not that much. So whether, what should I understand from this? That you haven't studied 11th properly or you haven't revised the class 11th chapters yet. What should I conclude from that? Okay. Again, question says, a body is initially at rest, is falling under gravity. So just draw a rough diagram. Let's suppose this is a body. This is initially at rest and is falling. Okay. When it loses a gravitational potential energy by U, when it will fall, its potential energy will decrease. When it is at height h, its potential energy is more. When it decreases, its potential energy will decrease. So what are they saying? When it falls a certain distance and there is some loss of potential energy, and that loss is u, the velocity of the ball is v. Velocity of the ball is v. So they are asking about the mass of the ball. So what we can take, let's suppose the body has fallen by a height h. Okay, clear? Now, what if I say that loss in potential energy, loss in, let's suppose this is point A, this is point B. So loss in potential energy from A to B. What will be the loss? You will say U is equal to mgh. This is the loss in potential energy. I think till now everything is clear. So they are asking about the mass, and if you see that mass will become U by G into H. I think everything is clear till now. Now, H is something that we have assumed by ourselves. It's not given in the question. So we need to eliminate this H. We need to eliminate this H. Let's suppose this is equation number 1. Now, what if I say that if you consider the motion from A to B, ball is falling under gravity. So for motion under A to B, for motion under A to B, you can write that V square is equal to U square plus 2GH. Which equation is it? This is the kinematic equation, or you can say third kinematic equation. U is what? Initial velocity. Are you aware about these terms now? At least these things are required. If you don't know, then there will be a problem. So U is the initial velocity, and you can say U is 0. Then what will it become? V is equal to, or V square is equal to 2GH. So what is the value of H? H is equal to V square by 2G. Put the value of H in equation 1. And if I put the value of H, what is M? M is equal to U upon G. What is the value of H? V square by 2G. G will get cancelled. 2 will move in the numerator. So M will become 2U by V square. Which option is this? Which option is this? 2U by V square, 2U by V square. Again, this is option C. Again, this is option C. Clear? I hope every question till now is clear. Don't try to learn the question. Try to understand how I am attempting. Sunita Singh says, yes, sir. Very good. Try to be responsive, actually. Okay. Moving further. Okay, this is again a very important question. And good question, actually. The question says, just have a read. Question says, a weightless thread can support a tension maximum of 30 Newton. Clear? Keep this in mind. A stone of mass 0.5 kg is tied to it and is revolved in a circular path of some radius 2 meter in a vertical plane. Okay. So the question is from vertical circle. First of all, you can see that what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to identify the topic or the chapter or the concept from which the question was asked. In this way, your mind will work properly. So I have identified that this question is from vertical circle. My mind will revolve around that. Okay, let's draw a rough diagram. Let's suppose this is a circular path in which the particle is being revolved. And this is the particle which is tied like that. Clear? And it is moving in this way. Let's suppose it has some velocity in this direction, V. Clear? And it has a radius of r. Now, till now, everything is clear. Let's suppose weight of the particle is m, then there will be a gravity mg, and there will be a tension T in the string. Now, what I'm trying to say, one thing for sure, that you should know from the vertical circle concept, from the vertical circle chapter, that tension in the string is maximum when the particle is at lowest position. If you don't know this line, try to write it down. The tension in the string will be maximum when particle is at its lowest position. Write it down. Okay. So that's why I have drawn the particle in the lowest position, because I was given the maximum tension. So tension will be maximum when particle is at lowest position. So now you can write the equation, write the Newton's law of motion's equation, second law, that is T minus mg is equals to mv square by r. Is it clear? Okay, now place the values. T is maximum of 30, minus m is what? 0.5. G is given as 10, is equals to mass is again 0.5 into v square, we don't know, divided by r. Radius is again 2 meter. I think you can solve it out, and you will get, this is 25 into 2, 50 is equals to 0.5 v square. And you can see that v square is equals to 100. So v is equals to 10 meter per second. So velocity of the particle is 10 meter per second, and they are asking about the angular velocity. So the angular velocity is v is equals to r omega. I think you know, everyone knows that. So omega is equals to v by r. And if we place the value, that is 10 by 2, that is 5 radian per second. Am I doing it very quickly, or is it genuinely good pace so that you can understand the questions? Just tell me what is the case. Clear now? Moving further. Okay, this is again a very good question. Okay, Sunita says yes. I think only Sunita is studying here. Again, the question is, you can see that find the current in 3 ohm resistor. One thing is there, that whenever most of the questions, most of the students I have seen, that when they saw a question with more than 2 or 3 registers, they just got panicked. These questions are very easy to do. There is a small bit of calculation involved, but just don't worry about that. There are a lot of ways to solve it out. One is through Ohm's law, another is Kirchhoff law. So I am doing it with Kirchhoff law. Okay, let's just redraw the diagram. What it says, there is a 2 ohm resistor, another 3 ohm resistor, 9 ohm resistor, there is a 4 ohm resistor, okay, and there is a 10-volt battery. That's what is given. Now you can see all these 3 ends are grounded. If they are grounded, that means they are at zero potential. That means they have same potential. If they have same potential, then we can connect them. There is no problem with that. There is no problem with that. So this is 2 ohm, 3 ohm, this is 4 ohm. Clear? Now you have to calculate the current in the 3 ohm resistor. There are 2 ways to solve it out. One is, okay, let me just tell you. can you calculate the total equivalent resistance of this circuit? I am doing it very quickly. Stop me if you are not able to understand. Stop me. I am just very quickly calculating the equivalent resistance. These 3 and 9 are in series. So that will be 12 ohm. These This 12 ohm and 4 ohm are connected in parallel. So 12 and 4, it will be 48 by 16, that is 3 ohm. So this is 3 and 2 again in series, so that will be 5 ohm. So R equivalent of this circuit is 5 ohm. If you are not able to understand these things, then you can ask me. I will explain it to you in more detail. But right now, for me, it's the easiest way to calculate. If you got the R equivalent, okay, someone has says, understood, very good, Divya. So R equivalent is 5 ohm. So the current supplied will be, you can say V by R equivalent. So that will be 10 by 5, that is 2 ampere. That means in this circuit, the battery has supplied 2 ampere current. Okay. Now, what we can do, what we know that battery has supplied 2 ampere current. I have written it here. When this current, which formula you used for what? For what? For calculating current or for calculating the equivalent resistance? Current. Ohm's law. I is equals to V by R equivalent. This is V equals to I into R. This is Ohm's law. Okay, very good. Okay, so when this 2 ampere current reaches the point, this point, it will divide in two parts. Is it clear? What we have got current supplied by the battery is 2 ampere. So current supplied by the battery is 2 ampere. At this point, current is divided in two parts. Let's suppose in this part, current is going I. And in this part, what will be the value of current? Can anyone answer very quickly? Can anyone answer from YouTube or from Zoom? Can anyone answer? What will be the current in 4 ohm resistor? Quick, quick, quick. No, 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 no. You know the KCL? Okay, someone has written 4 minus I. Okay, 4 is the resistance. This is 4 ohm. This is 3 ohm, 9 ohm, 2 ohm. This is the current 2 ampere. So 2 ampere is coming from here. I is gone in the 3 ohm. So it will be 2 minus I. It will be 2 minus I. Clear? I and say 2 ampere. So now apply the Kirchhoff voltage law, or you can say loop law in this loop. In the tomorrow's class, we will discuss about these things. So if you don't know how to use KVL, so just wait for the next class that is going to be held tomorrow 10 a.m. Now, I'm going to apply Kirchhoff voltage law in the loop. So what will be it? 3I plus 9I minus 4 into 2 minus I is equals to 0. What is KVL? The algebraic sum of all the potential differences in a loop is 0. So that is 12I plus 4I, 16I is equals to 8. So I is equals to 1 by 2 ampere. This is what our answer. This is our answer, 1 by 2 ampere. So which option is correct? I think it's again C. I hope that few of you may got confused with these things, because this is the quickest way to solve it. Okay, moving further. Again, this is an important question. This is a conceptual question. You should remember the concept here in this question. What it says, a metal ball falls from a height of 32 meters on a steel plate. The question is something like that you have dropped a ball from a certain height. It strikes the ground. And can you see that it will again rebound from it? And it rebounds up to a height and again falls, again rebound, again falls. It's not like that it is moving in the horizontal direction. It's just the representation. Actually, ball is going like this, coming and dipping and dipped finally. So this is the actual way. This is how I have represented it. So the coefficient of restitution is E. So there is a relation that you should remember. What is that relation? After n rebounds, the height of the ball or the particle Hn will be e raised to the power 2n into original height from which it was dropped. You need to remember this relation. What was the relation? Height after nth rebound is e raised to the power 2n into h original. So here they are asking about the to what height will the ball rise after second bounce? Okay, 1 second. Am I visible? Is everything clear now? So h n is equals to e is what? 0.5. 0.5 is what? 1 by 2 raised to the power n is what? Second. After second bounce. Second bounce means n is 2. So that is 4 into h naught is 32. So that is 1 by 2 raised to power 4, that is 16. 16 that is 2. So Hn is 2 meters. Is it clear now? Okay. 8 meter is the answer. 8 meter is the answer. Hn is 1 by 2 raised to the power 4 into 32. Okay. I don't think that that will be 8 meter. I will check if the answer is 8 meter, then we will recheck the question and the answer key. We will recheck that. But right now, this is going to be 2 meter. Okay, sure. We will recheck the question paper and the solution answer key if it is that. Okay, moving to the next question. Remember this relation. This is very important. Most of the times question were asked from this concept. This is a very basic question. Should I answer this or not? If body is performing pure rolling, then what will be the velocity of point O? Velocity of point O. Point O is the center of mass. Point O is the center of the mass. This is VCM, velocity of center of mass. And do you know that velocity of the bottommost point is 0? And velocity of the topmost point is 2 times the velocity of center of mass. So what is this? Velocity of the topmost point. This is, I am writing the relation. Velocity of the topmost point is 2 times the velocity of center of mass. This is the relation that you should know. Now, velocity of top is given as 10 meter per second is equals to 2 times velocity of center of mass means velocity of O. So you can write that velocity of O is 5 meter per second. 5. Very good, Divya. This is very easiest question of your exam. Moving further. Given nucleus of binding energy, this is a good question. Okay, so I think you have studied it recently in your exam. You have given the board exam right now. So that will be okay. So let me explain some binding energy concept here. Let's suppose this is a nucleus. This is a nucleus with some nucleons, protons and neutrons. And I have given it some energy. I have given it some energy, and these nucleons are separated. These nucleons are separated. The energy that we give to separate the nucleons is called as binding energy. And the binding energy is given as B in the question. The binding energy is given as B. So I have written it here. Okay. So till now everything is clear. This is the nucleus. This is the binding energy. And this is the individual nucleons. So what we know that, I think you all should know that binding energy B is equal to mass defect into C square. Is it clear? Binding energy is mass defect into C square. This is the not that difficult question. This is an easy question. You can write it. So what is mass defect? Okay, let me ask you, out of these two, this is mass of the nucleus and this is individual mass. Which mass is more? Which mass is more? Divya, Sunita, anyone? Do you know about that? Which mass is more? Okay, this separated nucleus. Okay, someone has answered. Screen is not visible. First one. Group of nucleons. Okay, this is more mass. This mass is more. Okay, that's what you are saying now. This mass is more. Okay, so delta M we are writing. There are Z protons and N neutrons. So Z into mass of proton plus N neutrons, N into mass of neutrons. This is the mass of this portion minus mass of the nucleus. This is capital N, represents mass of the nucleus into C square. Is everything clear till now? What we have written the mass defect into C square is equals to binding energy. Now what you can do, you can transfer this C square here and you need to calculate the mass of the nucleus. So what you can write, mass of the nucleus, this is B upon C square, clear, is equals to ZMP plus NMN minus mass of nucleus. So if you calculate the mass of nucleus from here, you can transfer these things. Then mass of nucleus will be ZMP plus N mass of neutron minus B by C square. So check the term minus B by C square. Check the term minus b by c square in your options. Can you find anyone with minus b by c square? Yes, this is the term. D option is the correct answer. So this is again a very basic question in which you need to calculate the binding energy, write the mass defect, and just transfer things. I am not transferring these things here again because it will become the same equation like option D. So you can transfer the things there. Moving further with another question. Okay, so there are a lot of questions, lot of questions here, there. Okay, so we can solve few more questions. Do you want a question to be picked from class 11th or class 12th? Because we have some 10 minutes more or 7, 8 minutes more. So you want the question from class 11th or class 12th? This is class 11th question of Thermody. Okay, someone has says class 12th. Okay, class 12th. Then we can pick someone again has answered 12th. Gaurav is also present. Gaurav, this is good to see you. Class 12th. Okay, this is question of class 12th, de Broglie wavelength. Okay, so you should ask first now because everyone is now interested in class 12 questions. Very good. Okay, okay, very good. Okay, so question again says a particle, after that we will solve a optics question. That is very good question here. A particle of mass n is projected from ground. So again, we will draw a rough diagram projected from ground with a velocity u like that. With a velocity u, making an angle theta with the vertical. Okay, making an angle theta with the vertical, not from the horizontal. So what it is making an angle theta with the vertical. Clear? Okay. The de Broglie wavelength of the particle at the highest point is. So again, this they are talking about highest point. So first of all, you should remember what is de Broglie wavelength. De Broglie wavelength is lambda is equals to h by mv. Remember this thing again, very important. Lambda is equals to h by mv. So particle has mass n, given h is a Planck constant, v is the required thing here. That is very good. Lambda is equals to h by m. We need to put the value of v here. What is the meaning of v? Velocity of the particle at highest point. It will have horizontal velocity only. It will have horizontal velocity. So divide the component. This component will be u sine theta and this will be u cos theta. Is it clear? Because angle theta is given from the vertical. So this is u cos theta, this is u sine theta. So at the highest point, velocity will be horizontal velocity. So that is u sine theta. So which is correct option? I think this is option number B. B. Okay, moving further for again. Is it clear now? Okay. This is again optics question. This is of class 12. Try to solve it out in 1 minute time. How many of you know about the critical angle? Do you know what is the critical angle? How it is denoted? Critical angle is theta c is equals to sine inverse mu of rarer medium divided by mu of denser medium. Is it clear? This relation you should remember all the time. This is the way how you should remember the critical angle. Sine inverse rarer divided by denser. Okay. So there are two velocities. Two mediums A and B and there are two velocities. Let's suppose this is velocity A. This is velocity B. Clear? and A has a medium mu A and B has a medium mu B. So just tell me which medium is denser out of A and B. Just answer. Just answer. Some new students like Darshana, Amin, Divya, nobody else. Gaurav was there, na? Gaurav, just answer which medium is denser out of these two. Okay, someone has answered B. B is denser. I am asking a denser, which is denser. Okay, uh, there is a problem with that, your answer. The thing is, in denser medium, speed of light is low. Speed travels with slow speed. Light travels with slow speed. What I am saying, light travels with slow speed. So speed is low or slow in medium A. That means A is denser, B is rarer. Very good. A is denser, B is rarer. That's clear now. So you can write theta C is equal to sine inverse. Rarer means mu B divided by mu A. Clear. This is equation number one. Now again, you know that mu is equal to C by V. That means mu is reciprocal to V. Mu is reciprocal to V. So what you can write, mu B by mu A. Mu is refractive index of B divided by refractive index of A is reciprocal to velocity. That means VA by VB. Velocity is reciprocal, na? So if A is in the denominator, then A will be in the numerator in terms of velocity. So what it will be? VA is 1.8, VB is 2.4. I am not writing the 10 raised to the power because they will cancel out. So it will become 3 by 4. So mu B by mu A is 3 by 4. Put it in equation number 1 and you will get your answer. What will be your answer? Theta C is equals to sine inverse 3 by 4. This is your answer. Is it clear? I will take one more question. However, time is up, but I will take one more question for you. Is it clear now? Okay, this is again a very good question. Okay, the question itself, I will try to draw a rough kind of diagram. So don't uh, say that your writing or your drawing is not good. A source of light is located at double the focal length of convergent lens. So what is convergent lens? Convergent lens is the convex lens. I think this is clear. So this is a convergent lens. This is the principal axis. Clear? Okay. The focal length of the lens is 30 centimeter. Its focal length is 30 centimeter. And the source is placed at double the focal length. Double the focal length means source is placed at 60 centimeter. Somewhere here, this is a object or source, you can whatever you say, at 60 centimeter. This is 60 centimeter. Okay, clear. This is something object. At what distance from the lens should a plane mirror be placed so that the ray reflected from mirror are parallel after passing through lens for the second? And this is going to be another difficult story for you. Listen to me. Let's suppose mirror is placed here. I don't know where the mirror is placed. I am just placing it randomly. I am trying to explain you the question. What will happen when source is there? Let's suppose a light ray is coming this way. Clear? It will be converged by the lens and it will converge somewhere there. So just if I draw the diagram, let's suppose it is going to be converged here. Let's suppose. Now, because on its path, let me clear you one thing. Let's suppose, let's draw another line. What if I say that rays are converged before the mirror? If rays were converged before the mirror, then there is no need of the mirror. Then there is no need of the mirror. So that's why what I have assumed that mirror is placed before the ray converged completely. So first thing is clear that someone may ask that why you place the mirror in the path of the ray. So one thing is clear. Now, what will happen? This ray will be reflected. Let's suppose it is reflected in this way. This is not the proper diagram that you should want. Okay, let's suppose the ray is reflected in this way. Now, what are they saying? They are saying that after reflection, ray becomes parallel. Ray becomes parallel to the principal axis. So, ray becomes parallel to the principal axis. This is the final diagram. Now, what you should know that rays coming from the focus will be parallel to the principal axis after refraction. One thing for sure, that rays coming from the focus, that means this point should be the focal length, should be the focus of the lens. And focal length is given as 30. So this length is 30. Which length? This portion, this length is 30. Are you getting my point? What is done here? Rays are coming from object. They are converged by the lens. After striking the mirror, they returns back and becomes parallel. So when the ray becomes parallel, only those rays will become parallel to the principal axis, which are coming from the focus. That means this point is focus. So focal length is 30, so this distance is 30. Let's suppose this distance is x. Then this will also be x, property of plane mirror. Okay. Now, what you need to do, you need to calculate the value of x. Clear? Now listen to me again, very carefully. Object was placed at 60 centimeter. Focal length was 30. Then its image will be. Actual image of this object was here. If mirror was not there, then image will be formed here. This is going to be the image. But because there was a mirror, the things will change. So now 1 over V minus 1 over U is equal to 1 by F. If you place the value 1 by V minus 1 by U is what? 60. Minus 60 is equals to 1 by focal length is what? 30. So if you solve this, you will get V is equals to 60 centimeter. Always 60, 30 and there will be 60. So V is what? 60 centimeter. That means, again, listen to me. That means this total V is what? Distance of the image from the lens. This total distance is 60. Okay. But this total distance from our diagram is what? 30 plus 2x is equals to 60. In our diagram, if you see, this total distance is 30 plus x plus x. That is 30 plus 2x. So you can see that 2x is equals to 30 and x is equals to 15 centimeter. So the mirror is, distance of mirror will be, let's suppose D is equals to 30 plus x, that is 45 centimeter. This is going to be a difficult question if you haven't studied, you haven't remembered few things. So let me just ask you whether the question is clear to you or what are the doubts in the question. You can ask, you can raise your hand. Just ask quickly because I'm going to end the session now. Okay. Khalil, Navan Khalil, is it the question clear to you? Okay. So I think everything is clear with you. So I will end the class here. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. sharp, there will be a class of current electricity. We will discuss some important things there about current electricity. All the important things will be discussed in that class. So till then, uh, enjoy your day, enjoy your another classes. Bye everyone.